A critical report from the Public Accounts Committee states that the public jetty should be maintained to ensure that what little value for money it has provided so far isn't further eroded unnecessarily. Construction of Phase 1 of the jetty project began in 2012 and was signed off in 2017 at a cost of just over £2 million.
I mean, we very much understand that public engineering projects do cost money, and so that's really important. So we don't sort of look at that necessarily with a critical eye in itself, but what we are interested in is the value for money for taxpayers, and it's the increase in the budget overall, which one of the things that really caused quite a lot of concern for us.
Key findings from the report were that ground conditions were not fully explored, a clear business case for a possible extension was not put forward, and that budgets were not accurate. This is the latest in a series of reports coming from the Public Accounts Committee that have noted some ongoing issues within government projects.
I think it's worth being fair to the government here that they've made an awful lot of progress in project management and procurement. So that it's really important that that's recognised, and the PAC very much recognises that. So this is a relatively old project, but it does still have some fundamental issues that we're beginning to see still, and we're still seeing in other projects. So one of the things that we're often seeing is that this clarity of objectives is not really coming through strongly enough. Number two, we're really keen that sufficient contingencies are put in the budget. There's definitely a Falklands factor out there. Often it's in ground conditions, the weather, the ability to be able to have contractors coming in, getting specific drill rigs, for example, for this project. There's very much a Falklands factor, and we're beginning to see a lot of missing contingency in a lot of the projects. So there's a bit of learning to be done there, and I think FIG could definitely learn a bit more on that, and I'm sure they're looking at that themselves.
The report has been noted by the Legislative Assembly, and a response from the Governor is required within 6 months.
We see themes, I think, coming up from the Public Accounts Committee reports about project management and overview and planning. And, I know a lot of work is going on really across government to try and do better in these respects. I think everyone recognises that there are things that can improve, but there are also, there are all the pressures of everybody's working pretty much flat out. So it's trying to make sure that we've got the best controls in place, but they're also that don't completely stifle projects from going forward.
While lessons can be learnt from the restoration of the public jetty and take those into future projects, the PAC have concluded that the public jetty was over-engineered for the purpose it now serves.
So I think we're pretty clear that it was not, as far as we could tell, value for money for the taxpayer. The business case was not clear enough for the overall price tag at the end.